Hi, welcome to Eternal Love of Drama, where two Chinese drama binge watchers share very strong, very uninformed opinions about the dramas that we have watched or didn't watch. We don't know much about Chinese drama land, Chinese pop culture. We don't know anything about famous people, but we do enjoy watching the dramas and talking about them after. So thanks for joining us. Every week, we'll start by awarding a fun prize to a character or something arbitrary that we've picked out of some of the dramas that we've been watching. And then we'll do a mini review of one of the dramas that we talked about. So tell us about this week's prize.
I will start by saying love is a many splendored thing. Love lifts us up where we belong. All you need is love. Today we are talking about love. But sometimes love goes a little wrong. And today's award is going to be for the most dysfunctional romantic relationship. And it's important to say romantic relationship because in Chinese dramas, there are many, many, many family relationships that are super, super messed up. But today we are talking about extremely dysfunctional romantic relationships. So who did you award the prize to for this?
Okay, so this is strong uninformed opinion alert because I've probably watched about 70 total minutes, although I've glanced through about 5 or 6 episodes of this drama. So the drama that
50 something episodes. And
yes, so the drama that I'm gonna nominate for, or I'm gonna give this award to is for Goodbye My Princess. And so I wrote some notes down because this is super complicated. So essentially you have a princess of a Western tribe and a prince of the quote unquote Chinese tribe. And so the prince of the Chinese tribe pretends to be a regular Western tribe person in order to marry the princess in order to take down her tribe or her country. So he does this by tricking her into thinking he's a normal person in that tribe. Meanwhile, like he's also partnered with her sifu, who also likes her but tells her he doesn't like her, but behaves inappropriately towards her because he also has some like backstory involving family massacre that he wants revenge on. So the prince marries the princess, kills all of her tribe, kills her grandfather, forces her mom to commit suicide, and her dad goes crazy and she's like freaking out. So she jumps into something called the River of Forgetfulness so that she can forget him. But he chases her because he still thinks there's a chance that they could be together. And so they both forget they know each other. Fast forward to when they're back in China, right, his country. He's usurped the crown prince so that he can become the crown prince. He's married her, but the same day he marries her, he marries another concubine to protect her because he loves her and he has to protect her by pretending he hates her. And so the relationship is basically a series of physical and verbal abuse incidents that are supposed to be endearing and cute. So then in the end, she figures out who he is because the sifu comes back and says, by the way, I'm really sorry and I still love you. You could be my like true love. And then anyway, in the end, it all ends super tragically. Everyone, well, she dies, spoiler alert. Anyway, I found that to be somewhat dysfunctional.
somewhat. I mean, I think that it's interesting because like every like contemporary rom-com that you ever watch basically involves like some sort of meet cute, and then like the girl does not like the boy and the boy pesters the girl for about 90 minutes until she's madly in love with him. Meanwhile, like for the whole 90 minutes, she's like saying, no, I'm not interested. And he completely ignores her wishes. But this takes it to a whole new level. All right.
It does, which is why after the internet really helped me because I had to take these notes because I couldn't figure out what was going on when I was watching the first couple episodes. It really saved me, the internet, from investing 52 episodes of my
life. Did you have a runner-up or just the one hands down winner?
Hands down.
Okay, well, I'm going to give my award to a recent drama called Love in Between. And I watched the whole drama. I watched it because I wanted to know what happened, mostly with the side characters. I can't remember, 40 something episodes, I think. And it has a nice cast of supporting characters that have interesting backstories and storylines that I was invested in. Um, the however, however, the relationship between the two people, and this is like major spoilers, the relationship between the two leads is so deeply disturbing. Like they are constantly vacillating between, oh my God, I love you so much, and I don't love you. I swear, I don't love you. And they go back and forth. And then, and then I I try not to judge people that are in situations that I have not ever personally experienced. And I will give the disclaimer that I have never been in a relationship where anybody has ever um, stabbed me more than once, or administered deadly poisons to me multiple times for various reasons. Um, and so I guess I can't judge from personal experience, but I kind of think it's a deal breaker and not a very functional relationship. So I am going to have to give my award to the lead characters in Love in Between. I do have a runner-up award that goes to a really interesting, speaking of dramas with really interesting like side character, like supporting characters and side story arcs, the relationship between Song Lan and Xiao Xingchen and Xue Yang in The Untamed. So if you haven't seen The Untamed, I do not know what's wrong with you. But these people, like one of them, two of them are like, okay, so we can't really say definitively that this is a romantic relationship because according to China, there are no gays in China. But like,
we should if we read the book, we would know the answer.
Oh yeah, I don't actually know if they're romantically involved in the book because I haven't read it. But these two characters are like soulmates. They are like cultivators. They're on the same path. And then this super messed up guy who is like super traumatized from a terrible childhood, blah, 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 basically forces one of them to kill the other one and then takes advantage of him because he's blind, forces him to tricks him into killing a whole bunch of other people, and is basically like trying to like be in a domestic relationship, living with this person for several years, hiding his own identity so that because he was jealous of that relationship. So I'm going to give that my runner-up award. But before we go any further and talk about Love in Between, I want to just say that if you're in a relationship where somebody poisons or stabs you, you have lots of choices as far as not being in that relationship. And if you need help talking about them, if you're in the States, there's a National Domestic Violence Hotline that you can call. It's 1-800-799-7233. No one deserves to be stabbed.
Okay, well, and this is an important thing. It's not just the stabbing and the poisoning, right? So you mentioned there's two dimensions to this relationship in Love in Between. There is obviously the stabbing and the poisoning, which I feel like we should take that on its face, right? That is actually assault, which is a felony, right? This is a bad thing that happens. So whenever someone abuses you physically, you should walk away. Or you should run away, like immediately. And if you see your friends in that,
start making a plan if you have, you have other considerations.
Yes, but this other element of like saying you love them and then not saying, this is like the verbal sort of emotional abuse that I think that people don't often notice. And like a lot of the justification that we see in the drama, and this is in a lot of relationships, in a lot of the dramas, is like someone will say, in order to protect you, I need to like lie to you. I need to like deceive you
and leave you in a room.
Yeah, or I need to like help you get over me by being super mean, right? As if like, so this is the thing, right? So first of all, that's like not actually very loving. But second of all, it also assumes that the other person in the relationship, like the other partner, isn't like emotionally mature enough to handle a situation. And like you are saying that like the only way that like I just think it really diminishes like like how their emotional capacity in your view. And that is like the part about some of this that really bothers me. Like, you don't think very highly of your partner if you think that they cannot handle reality, um, or that you should openly communicate with them about how bad a situation is.
Yeah, and I think that the reason I don't like watching contemporary dramas and I watch ancient dramas is because I have like a lower level of expectation for the people in
Okay.
these relationships because of history. But like, I don't think it's actually better in modern dramas. It just pisses me off more to watch it.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that like, at least in Love in Between, they do it to each other. So it's not just the man saying to the woman, you clearly can't handle what's happening in the world. I'm going to protect you by doing all these like crazy ass things. But it goes both ways in this relationship. So at least it's reciprocal. So, okay, I'm just going to do a quick um,
Yes. Tell us about this drama.
so, Love in Between, the main lead, Zuo Qingci, he's a doctor, and he was born from a noble family, and then for various reasons, he has to leave that family as a child, and he goes and becomes a doctor. Um, he has been searching for this like scroll that leads to a treasure, of course, a treasure from the imperial courts. And then he comes together in this search. He comes together with this thief named Fei Kor, and Fei Kor is actually a woman, and Su Rin Luo, and she is the female lead. Okay, and so they had a childhood encounter, and then they go on this path of like they each have like a mission, right? His mission here in the end like sort of changes, and it is a political motive to help, restore the rightful heir to the throne and the like person in power who is righteous and serving of the people. Her motivation is that her sifu has been poisoned or injured, and she needs to go around the world collecting all these like different medicines in order to save him. So that is her sole mission in life. And so these two people are on their little missions, and they interact with each other. They can't stay away from each other, but ultimately neither of them, like, they use each other repeatedly to forward their own mission, and ultimately neither of them is ever definitively able to put the other person above that mission. Which is also why, like, you want to be in a relationship with someone who supports your goals, but like, I am not going to support somebody's goals to the end of like being stabbed or poisoned multiple times, right? So like, that is where it is.
It's a good line to have.
Yeah, boundaries are important. So yeah, so it's 43 episodes. It's on YouTube with English subtitles, and that's pretty much the plot summary. And sorry for the multiple spoilers about the stabbings and poisonings, but it is pretty central
It is.
to the story. So what did you think of this drama? You watched most of it, sort of.
I finished it. I liked the beginning better than the end. And so I'll just say overall, I thought it had a good start. It introduced a lot of really interesting characters. I think you mentioned this before. But the thing that really bothered me is that it was like, first of all, the relationship between the two main leads, as you said, was just unwatchable. And it was like, I found myself forwarding through them in order to watch some of the side arcs, which is like, I think, a key problem for you as a drama writer, because you can't tell a story like that's compelling because I want to watch other people's stories more. So that's one of the main things. Is I found the two of them to be just so annoying at the end that I just could not even. The second thing that I thought was that it ended really badly. I felt like they rushed the ending, or they started with a great idea, but then they didn't finish it very well, because I didn't like think that it logically followed that many of the things in like maybe the last 10 episodes could have or should have happened. um it just didn't make any sense to me, like why that was like the optimal like resolution, like with sorry, spoiler, with, you know, picking that and like supporting that emperor, or like eliminating that particular like
Why
Marcos.
did he have to kill him? He went on this whole like,
Yes,
he
it
was
was.
a hidden person. He went to great lengths to find this person just to like kill them and like
It didn't
convince
make any
them
sense
to
because,
go along with it.
right, and see that's what doesn't make sense, is that like he finally finds him and the guy's like, oh, you're totally right, I should die, and then
Right.
like just ends
Yeah.
his life. And I
Good
was,
talk. I'll just go help you take care of that now.
but then everything else that follows after that is like just as ridiculous and it doesn't make sense. And also, how did he survive that? Because there's
The
no way.
last 5 minutes, I'm just gonna like pretend didn't happen because I cannot in any version of fake
Yes.
TV drama reality believe that that actually happened. And this is not like a drama. In this drama verse, there is no like magic. So yes.
So,
Right.
so from a storytelling perspective, I thought it was like super poor. From like some of the side characters, I thought the stories were super interesting. I just, I don't know what to say about like overall. I think it was not enjoyable because the storytelling was just so bad. And I think also because, I mean, you know this, I have a little bit of Nirvana and Fire hangover that I can't get over. And I thought a lot of this was set up so that it was kind of like that, but just fell so short.
I think that it's like there are like romantic plots where you are like, oh my gosh, are these people gonna get together? And like they set it up so that you root for the people to be together. I am not rooting for these people to get together, and in fact, it made me angry that they got like a semblance of a happy ending. I'm like, these people do not deserve to be together. Or maybe that they exactly deserve to be together, but they both deserve to be dead.
Yes.
When you want the leads of the show to be dead,
Yes.
like, okay, so I'm gonna rewind and also jump in and say I thought the beginning, like the plot in the beginning was really interesting. And also like award to her for the most convincing like woman dressed up like a man
Yes.
ever. I
Yes.
like was swearing to you that it was played by another actor, but it's not. And I just like, sure, maybe that kind of like mask technology did not actually exist in ancient China, but like usually they have these women who just change
it's like
hair.
this. I have a bud now. I'm a man.
Everyone is convinced that you're a man, right?
Yeah.
So I think that it was excellent. And in fact, I enjoyed the story when in the beginning when she was like this badass thief dressed up as a man, and then in the end,
the wolf.
the rest of from the middle to the end, it's just this like back and forth. I love you. I don't love you. I'm gonna stab you. Like, but I'm gonna miss all the vital organs. So yes, but I do want to talk about some of the side characters because I actually think the supporting cast was just so like their stories were rich and good, and you know, like the two characters, Yin Changge and Zhang, they're
I wanted them to take it.
I'm not gonna give this one away, but their last scene together was just like beautiful, like cinematography wise, like it was like aesthetically very beautiful. It was very touching. They were such nice characters that you wanted to root for, like, and they both had like interesting backstories. Like, that was just such a lovely story of them, and you were rooting for them. You wanted to watch them. I also want to talk about
was so cute that like I felt like this was the one place where they were very consistent in the storytelling, right? Because how they met, how they got to know each other, like how they like became like, we're gonna like, I love you, and like the way that they were with each other in the relationship. And then how they ended was all very consistent and believable, as far as like these are the two people that they have built like a character around, and this is what those characters would be like in that situation. So I appreciated that consistency.
Yeah, and like they weren't like the two main leads are just like scheming and plotting and lying constantly, that it's like really hard to like get behind them, but
Yeah.
these two were just really really sweet. I'm going to share my screen just for a moment because I want to talk about this guy. Here we go. This guy.
This
We
guy.
see him once again, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
We see him in Ashes of Love, and the winner is love. Um, Something else that I can't remember, but the underlying theme is it's a story about love, and he doesn't get it. So you are, especially if you've seen things, and like the thing is that some of these, the way they do Chinese dramas, like some of these dramas all have like the same cast sort of shuffled around, and so he is constantly playing these characters that is very much in love with somebody and doesn't get to be with them. And so I was like deeply rooting for his happy ending here, and he was a cool character too. He had an interesting
Yeah.
like
Yes.
identity, and like and if you are a Nirvana and Fire fan, he was like the Lang Yapa with the like, you know, with
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
all the information on little wooden placards. Like, he was a cool character, and he had a really dramatic love story also in this,
Yes.
um, and I was just really, really rooting for him, and I have to like, I think that in the using the rules of this dramaverse, there is no way he is alive for a happy ending.
Yes.
But I don't care. It made me so happy.
Okay, well, first of all, I think it helped that the girl that he ends up with is not Yuki, because like that's where the
Can't be
tragedy.
together with Yuki Chan.
I mean, I like Yuki, but like the two of them just never made it.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Okay.
So I thought that part was really sweet and ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
Unrealistic.
is it more or less unrealistic than the other story, which I thought was super interesting, which was like Gui Tongzi, who is like the little evil villain. He supposedly, I mean, this all contributes to the larger who is evil story arc, right? Which is obviously, oh, sorry, spoiler, like the head of the main good sect. But, you know, he's poisoned in the process of like doing, like practicing his like wukong. And so he becomes like a weird, ugly looking old child, like small, right? And then he's evil, right? But he's not really evil because he started out good, but you don't know this because in the beginning he's one of the three evil people that tries to kill our main leads. And then his like story of like how he became like that, trying to figure out who did this to him, reversing it, and then only being able to be alive for like 3 days so that he can finally see the woman who's been waiting for him for 10 years for like a day. They get married and then they die together. Sorry, I just gave away a lot of spoilers, but
I feel like this whole episode is just spoilers. and I like, I think that character was so interesting.
Yes.
That I like was like madly Googling, like, is this a child? Is this a child actor? Is this a man who's very short? Like, what is going on here? But that was also like, just, I was surprised by that because I thought in the beginning, because he was part of this crew of 3 bad guys and gender neutral guys, because one of them was a woman. And I thought they were the kind of like caricature villain that like does a bad thing and then disappears. But then he ended up like, this is what I'm saying, like really rich supporting cast, supporting characters. Like he ended up having this like super interesting story that was interconnected with the larger
Yes.
thing. So I just like, I think that that it just like it's worth it was worth my time to watch the other characters, but it didn't feel worth my time to watch the two leads. It's just
Yep.
so it's also a foregone conclusion. You're not there's no tension about whether like they love each other, whether they, you know, because they clearly are lying when they say they don't love each other. Like
I think the tension
clearly
was
not able to
will
behave
they
like
accidentally kill the other person before the end?
will she mean to stab him and miss all the major organs but actually puncture one? um,
Right.
all right, so would you recommend this? Would you watch it again?
Okay, well, I'm definitely never watching this again because it was painful to get through the first time. I just like wanted to know what happened to the other characters, right? Like I wanted to watch like Tonga, and I wanted to watch like, you know what I mean? Like I wanted to watch all of those people to see like how their stories ended. I did not care for our two people. So I'm never watching this again. I don't know if you should watch this. I just feel like people should realize that, and I'm all for spoilers because I often, as per my Goodbye
Even
My
though
Princess
it's
comments,
worth your time, and it's going to be
yes,
like
a lot
66
of time.
episodes, right?
So
Yeah.
I feel like we want to give you this information because when you decide to invest, like however many episodes this ended up being,
It's actually only 43, but it felt like 5 million.
well, especially at the end when it was like basically unwatchable. So, you know, I don't think I would necessarily recommend it. There are other dramas to watch where if you just want like to like waste time or just have it on the background, like this is like not even the one that I would pick for that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And you can have, if you're interested in like the like romantic dramas, like you can watch a romantic drama where you're actually interested in the leads.
Yeah. Although I think what we
It's
discussed last time was that there are no real love triangles, so like I don't think that like that's like something that you should hope to see.
Yeah, no love triangles, just sort of like how many circumstances can we throw in the path of these people, um, and then how many times can they try to kill each other without actually killing each other. All right, well, tell us what your favorite dysfunctional relationships are in Chinese drama land. We're look forward to hearing from you and see you in our next episode.
I think the next time we're going to be talking about Diabolical Family Massacre.
Oh, yes. Family Massacre. Everybody's favorite first episode.
All right. Bye.
Bye.